It's 1 a.m. I was sound asleep. I was dreaming about the past. Years ago, like when I finished college, I decided I applied for a Canadian consulate position that I found somewhere. I forget where. Maybe it was Indeed or Monster or something. I go in interview and they're looking for somebody to do office work, and I have all those skills and experience. But I go in there and I see my sister's boyfriend slash father of two kids. I see I see his cousin, and it's weird, but I think nothing of it. I say hi. I go into the interview, and this is for me. I'm thinking this is a great opportunity because you know I watched a lot of Degrassi, but I also I would love to be a Canadian citizen, and I think that would have been a pathway into it. Um, So I do the interview. It's a nice woman doing it. I forget what we discussed, but I go and I don't hear back for weeks, and then later on I'm finally told that since I know my sister's boyfriend cousin, who I only met for like the first time a couple weeks before, that she couldn't hire me because it would be nepotism and be like hiring the same family into a position, and I'm crushed. Hear this. Because if I was a Canadian citizen, I think I'd consider having children, and I wouldn't be too stressed out about what about I'm living in a neoliberal dystopian hellhole. Like Canada doesn't spend all their money on blowing up brown people. They have some to enact universal health care or tuition free colleges, whatnot. But that's another tangent. I I don't want to go there. I just wonder like how different my life would have been had that I was able to go that path instead of working for the for-profit school, the Los Angeles Film School, which paid me pretty poorly. And even when I told them I didn't need their health insurance, I had my own. You know, my mother asked me like, "Oh, so you're gonna take the money they're paying for your premium and like instead give it back to you in your wage?" Well, they never did that. And from what I hear, they don't really give raises too much. They basically, not to go into this too much, but they basically just sign up a bunch of people from the poor inner city, like a lot of brown black people, and they take out tens of thousands of dollars in federal loans to pay them in full. And then when they graduate, maybe 5% or something. I don't know. This is off the top of my head, but they actually maybe 5% actually get a job in the industry. The rest have to work whatever to take out to pay back their loans, which they've taken out. And this isn't small amounts of money. This is like 40 grand or 60 grand. I remember working in the office, and almost every single person that had to borrow money would eventually like give in their $2,500 uh, Apple laptop to like go towards their what's the word, but towards their loan, like, and they would deduct maybe a couple thousand loan or maybe 1,000 out of like tens of thousands of dollars. But anyway, that's who I worked for, and it was like a nightmare, toxic place to work, like extremely horrible. And it's that company, the parent company, Full Sail, is one of the reasons why America is so shitty today. But that's not the point of this video. The point is, like, my sister's boyfriend's a curse. My sister, she had an assignment from, or somebody asked her for a favor. This person's a musician in a very well-known band, and he had a garage full of, like, guitar pedals or effects, whatever, just hard stuff like he needed to sell on eBay. And he asked her if she could do it. She accepted, but I went over to help out, and she's kind of a wreck. Like, she's not doing not doing the task. She's crying about, like, how her boyfriend's out partying and cheating on her. So, I mean, I really wanted to help out this. I saw a guitar pedal, and it had all the presets from one of their tours. I was like, oh man, this is awesome. But she never really got it done, and she let down her friend. And then I think about, like, what would her life been like if she was able to do that instead of crying over her boyfriend. Like, what kind of opportunities would that open? Kind of like, what if I actually worked for the consulate and actually made a Canadian citizen, been a Canadian citizen, and started a life in a new country that didn't have, like, so many hangups like the United States. I'm sure none are perfect, but the U.S. can be really bad, or and scary. It's very predatory. And I don't know if Canada would be that predatory. Our healthcare is kind of like a mess. I remember going to a dentist, and they were referring me to a specialist, and then the specialist was referring me for like a gum graft. It was a dentist, like, grafting skin from one part of my gum to another. And then that would have cost like a couple $1,000s. But then I went to another dentist, and they were like, no, you don't need that. There's a little bit of gum recession. You don't need that. So, like, this is just an example of how medical services like to pad the expenses. It's not an accident. I ended up paying like $100 just to be told all this bullshit. And it's like there's a lot more to that in the United States. Like, I've only had, like, maybe a couple landlords, but the first one stole my deposit, like, straight out. I don't want to get into that. My sister's boyfriend's a curse. He must have some kind of dark energy to him. Just suck. Just to be bad luck, like I don't know, like breaking a mirror or something like that. That's how he is. I remember for the longest time he was a dishwasher, and that's fine. There's nothing against dishwashers that needs to be done, but you can't raise a kid or two off being a dishwasher. I worry about, like, the kind of opportunities my niece and nephew will have. Like, I think the father, my sister's boyfriend, will definitely derail any opportunity. He might get upset if they aspire to be anything other than a dishwasher. He's gonna fuck up their lives. You know he is. Anyway, so it's pretty bad. I don't want to sound crazy when I'm saying, like, he's the reason why I didn't get the job at the Canadian consulate, but he kind of is. Like, my association with him kind of is. And it's never really helped me. It's just only hardened me to know this guy. This fucking idiot. This guy, he thinks the world is flat. Vaccines probably have microchips in them. All this stupid shit. He's a moron. Or maybe my sister's curse, and just knowing my sister, since she got involved with him. Like, so yeah, I guess nights like these, I wake up at 1 a.m. and I'm dreaming about it. I'm dreaming like, what kind of life would I have out there? Certainly be less guilty. I do feel a bit of guilt about like where the tax money goes. It doesn't go towards helping anybody. It just goes really into the military industrial complex to go blow up brown kids around the world. And if you want the tuition for college and like healthcare and a place to live if you really need it, just stuff like a lot of first world nations take for granted. Here, you're expected to put on a uniform and just go kill brown people, directly or indirectly. It's horrible. I live in the modern day Roman Empire, so I don't know. I can't change that. I was able to escape for a little bit and it was great, but now I'm back in here, and unfortunately, Hawaii's part of that too. So, okay.